In this video, I'm going to give you the top 8 lessons that I have learned from being a personal trainer for the past 7 years now. And with these lessons I'm going to give to you, it is going to save you a ton of time, a ton of headache, and a ton of mistake making so that you can see much quicker progress in your own journey. I'm going to give you a mix of my own personal lessons that I have learned through being in this coaching business industry for the past 7 years, and I'm going to give you lessons and stories from my clients. Out of the thousands of clients that I've coached by now, I'm going to give you lessons and stories that I have learned from seeing them and their progress in their journey. The first lesson: it is not about having an A+ program that is the most optimal. It is about having a program that you are going to be able to be consistent with. Because I would much rather you follow a B- workout program with 90% consistency on that program than you trying to follow this A+ workout program, but only being able to follow it with 60% consistency. And let me explain what I mean. As opposed to you trying to work out 6 days a week, when in all reality, you damn well know you're not going to be able to be consistent with following a workout program for 6 times a week. You would be much better off just following a 3 times a week workout program with 90 to 110% consistency, as you would be trying to follow this 6 times a week program, but only getting 3 workouts in. Or let's take your nutrition as an example. As opposed to you trying to follow this perfect meal plan, only eating chicken and broccoli and egg whites and oatmeal every single day, you would be much better off following a diet program that incorporates more moderation, incorporates some of your favorite foods, isn't as restrictive, because you'll be able to sustain that and be more consistent with this program over here. Which means the more consistent that you are, the more progress you are going to see. I will never forget this one time I was training one of my clients in person. Her name was Cheryl. And Cheryl was somebody who thought that she had to work out 5, 6, 7 times a week in order to see progress. But what was happening was she would maybe do it for about a week or 2. She would get burnt out, and then she would slowly start to fall off. She would feel bad for her falling off, so she would fell off for a couple of more weeks, and then she was like, all right, I have to get back on track. And so what she would try to do is get back on track with working out 5, 6, 7 days a week, and then the cycle just kept happening. It wasn't until that we finally agreed, Cheryl, stop working out 6 days a week. We are going to follow this 3 times a week workout program. And at first, it was very difficult for her because she felt like she wasn't doing enough. She felt like she wasn't going to see progress and she was going to lose progress. But when she finally started to be consistent week after week after week after week, she was then able to make so much more progress in her journey. Even though the 6 times a week workout program she was trying to follow was on paper, maybe it was better on paper and it would get quicker results on paper, she wasn't able to follow it. She was able to follow this plan over here, which is why she saw much better progress from it. So lesson number 1, you are much better off following a B- program with 90% consistency than you are following an A+ program with 50% consistency. Lesson number 2, this one is more of my own personal experience. One of my good friends and one of my mentors to this day, his name is Jordan Sayat, hopped on the phone with me one night after I DM'd him on Instagram. And he was kind enough to hop on the phone with me and look over my Instagram, and I asked him basically, Jordan, what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? And how can I get better as a coach? And how can I get better at building my business? And so he was on the phone with me and we were looking over my Instagram profile. At this time, about 3 years ago from when I'm filming this, I was posting maybe 1, 2, 3 times per week. And so he was looking over this and he said to me, Eric, you're posting 3 times per week. And me, not knowing what the hell he was talking about, I was like, yeah, that's pretty good, right? He's like, no, that's awful. And I'm like, oh crap. And he's like, you need to be posting 3 times a day, not 3 times a week. And I was like, oh, wow. And the reason this was a big lesson for me is because it wasn't necessarily I was doing the wrong things. I was doing the right things. I just wasn't doing enough of the right things. you may be in that very similar situation. You might be hitting your calories a couple of days per week, but you're not hitting your calories all of the days of the week. Or you might be getting some workouts in here and there and being consistent, but then you'll have a 2 or 3 week period of time where you aren't as consistent. So it's not that, or maybe you're doing your meal prep, for example, but maybe you're not doing enough meal prep to take you into the weekend. Or maybe you're getting your sleep, but you're having 2 or 3 days a week where you aren't getting your sleep, which means you're not getting your workouts, which means you're going to be hungrier, overeat, not stick to your diet, all those things. So it's probably not that you're not doing the right things. You're probably just not doing enough of the right things. So as opposed to looking for other secrets or other hacks or other things to do, just focus on the things you are doing that work, do more of them, and you'll see better progress. The third lesson: on the days where you have your worst workouts, 99.9% of the time, the next day after you've had a shitty workout is always one of your best workouts of all time. What happens is most people don't let themselves get to that next day so they can have their best workout. I'll never forget this. I was training somebody online one time, and her name was Megan. Megan had a really bad workout one day, and I got an email from her that night saying, "Eric, my workout fucking sucked. This sucks. I'm mad. I'm upset." So I said, "Megan, it's all good. Let's wake up tomorrow," because she had a workout the next day. I said, "Let's wake up tomorrow, let's refresh, and let's go into that workout." Megan, on that next workout the next day, was able to hit a PR on every single exercise that she did on that next workout. And I told her before she went into the workout, I was like, "Megan, you're about to have your best workout ever." And she was like, "Eric, what the fuck are you talking about? I just had the worst workout ever. How can I have the best one ever?" Lo and behold, she had her best workout ever the next day. Why? That's really, I don't have a reason for it. That's just how it works sometimes. If you have a bad workout, the next workout or the next week worth of workouts is always one of your best workouts. The only issue is most people quit, or they get really down on themselves and they get really hard on themselves and they think they fucked something up or did something wrong or they lost all their progress. And so that then trickles into them either not getting their workout tomorrow, or they've already decided in their head that it's going to be a shitty workout, so then they go and have a shitty workout. I promise you, when you have your worst workouts, the next workout after that is going to be one of your best if you just stay positive, stay consistent, and go into that next workout with the right mindset. Number 4, you are way stronger than you think you are in your workouts. And I have a great story on this. This was when I was training people in person again. I had a client, her name was Jen. We had a 100-pound kettlebell in our kind of workout facility. And I told Jen, we were doing deadlifts that day. I told Jen, "Hey, go get that 100-pound kettlebell and do your deadlifts." And she kind of looked at me like I had 6 heads. And me, knowing that she was already kind of like thinking she couldn't go pick that weight up, I was just kind of like, "Jen, what are you doing? Go pick it up." And I kind of just like slowly turned to the side. And she's like, "Eric, I can't do that. Like that weight is too heavy for me." And then I wasn't actually being an asshole, but kind of I was like, "Jen, go pick it up." And she's like, all right, whatever, I'll go do it. And, I'll just prove to you I can't do it. She goes over to the 100-pound kettlebell, gets into a deadlift position, and does 8 reps of it without a struggle. And she puts the thing down, and I'll never forget, I see her face light up, and she was like, "I can't believe I just did that." And so I knew she could do it because I know you are way stronger than you give yourself credit for. You are way stronger than you think you are. The next time you go into your workout and you think a weight is going to be too heavy, or you've never done it before so you can't do it, or "Oh my God, I could never pick up that deadlift, that weight off the ground, I could never squat that," my little challenge and ask of you is just try. Just try. And again, I don't need you injuring yourself, maybe have a spot, maybe make sure your form is good, whatever the case may be. I don't need you getting hurt. But if there's a weight that you think you can't do, 9 times out of 10, you can do that weight. You just think you can't. So either you don't try, or because you think you can't, when you go into it, you don't, because you're already telling yourself you can't do it. I promise you, just try next time. Go at it with an open mind, and I promise you, you will probably surprise yourself with what you're able to do. The 5th lesson: do not give yourself a plan B. Let me tell you a quick story. March of 2020, That is the last time I trained people in person. Ever since then, myself and my team of coaches, we train people, we coach all of our clients online. You probably see my shirt, Clubhouse. This is my coaching program, the Clubhouse. I can put a link in the description below if you want to check it out. You know, we have workouts, we have nutrition guidelines, we have a supportive and accountability group inside of Facebook. It's amazing. If you want to check it out, feel free to. But that was the last time I was training people in person, March of 2020. So at that time, I got let go from my in-person coaching job. At this time, I was 22, 23, and I had now no source of income. I was living in this apartment that I'm living in right now. I had no source of income. There was no unemployment. My family is not around me. And I was like, oh shit. I have no way of making money right now. I have no source of income. I have to pay my bills. I have to pay my rent. I have to make sure all these things are getting done. What the hell am I gonna do? And I am so grateful that that happened, because what that forced me to do was go all in on what you're seeing right now. That forced me to go all in on my coaching business that I wanted to start online, which we are here now. In between our one-on-one clients that we coach and the Clubhouse members that we coach well over 1,000 people each month with myself and my team of coaches combined. I would have never been able to be here. And by the way, we're just getting started, so just make sure we're all aware of that. I want to document that. But we would never be here right now if I didn't go all in. If when I got let go and I had no source of income and I was not getting paid and I didn't know how I was going to put food on the table, I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for that, because what that forced me to do was have no plan B. There was no other option. I had to succeed. I had to find a way to start making money or I was going to get kicked out of my apartment. I had to find a way to start making money or I wasn't going to be able to buy groceries for myself and put food on the table. And trust me, I eat a lot of food every single day, or I try to build these nice muscles. So in that moment in time, I had no other option. I had to succeed. When you give yourself a plan B, you're almost going to take it every single time, because plan A is going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging. There are going to be plenty of times where you say, fuck this. I don't want to do this anymore. And if you have a plan B to fall back on, you're going to. Well, I can just do it tomorrow. Well, I can just do it the next time. I don't have to stick to my diet this week. It's not that big of a deal. When you give yourself these plan Bs, you're going to take them. When there's no plan B, when there's no other option, there's a zero options mentality, what's going to happen is you are going to realize, once again, talking about the last point, you are capable of way more than you think you are, and you're stronger than you think you are as well. You'll be able to accomplish things and get things done that you never would have been able to otherwise, all because your focus and your perception is narrowed down to, this is the only option. The only route I have is to succeed. The only route I have is to stay on track. There is no other option to go from here. So please, zero options mentality. In your head, create this zero options mentality, even if you have other options. Like to this day, I have that zero options mentality. I try to cultivate it as much as possible. Do I have other options? Probably at this point, yeah. But if you think you have zero options, you will act like you have zero options. If you act like you have zero options, you will then get zero options mentality results. The sixth lesson, you are going to have to get selfish in your fitness journey if you are going to want to see progress. I will never forget one of my clients who then became my assistant coach. Her name is Linda. When she first started working with me as a client, all of her, her husband, her family, her daughters, she told them, hey, I am making these meals for dinner. I am doing this with my nutrition. I am working out at these times. I'm going on the walks these times. This is what I am doing. I love you guys and I will still support you, but this is what I have to get done. She moved everything else out of her way. She was still a great mom. She was still a great spouse. She was still a great wife and employee and every single thing. But she carved out time to get selfish for her goals. During that time, she lost over 30 pounds and completely changed her life to where she is now, her full-time profession is helping other people change their life. That's how big of a transformation she was able to make through her being selfish. When you are on this fitness journey, you're going to have to be selfish. You're going to have to take more time to meal prep. You're going to have to make sure you eat certain foods. You're going to have to make sure you carve out time for your workouts. You're going to have to make sure you go to sleep at certain times to make sure you can get up and do your things the next day. If other people don't understand that, for lack of better terms, tell them to fuck off. And let me be honest and let me be very empathetic. If you're a parent with young kids, you can't just tell your kids to fuck off. I understand that. Well, you could, but you might not want to. But what I will say is this. On top of this, the only way to lead is to lead by example. If you want your kids to live a healthy life and take care of themselves and make themselves a priority, which I think you do if you're a good parent, you have to do that yourself. You have to make yourself a priority. And here's what's going to happen. When you do, you're healthier, you lost more weight, you got in shape, you have more energy, you have more self-confidence. You are then going to be a better parent from that, which is then actually you being selfless. You get it? You have to be selfish up front to be selfless in the long run. And this all comes back to you just carving out time and, stop trying to appease people. Stop trying to, stop valuing so much other people's opinions of what you're doing and how you're living your life. I'll never forget as well. I can use myself as the example. I was the person who, when I went to family functions, I would maybe bring my own food, or I'm the person who I don't drink alcohol when I go out, to places and so on and so forth. And everybody always asks me, Eric, what are you doing? Oh my God, you're on a diet. You're being healthy. I don't care what they think or don't think. I'm doing this for myself. These are my goals, and nobody is going to reach your goals for you. You are the only person who is going to reach your goal for yourself. So get selfish. The seventh lesson, again, this happened to me, and I'm going to get very real with you right now. This was probably about almost 3 years ago now. It was only me. I didn't have any coaches working for me at the time. It was only me and my clients. There was a short period of time where a few of my clients canceled back to back to back to back, and they had stopped their coaching. It wasn't because the service sucked, stuff like that. It was just, things popped up. Somebody was traveling out of the country and somebody was doing this and somebody had to have that happen. So, it wasn't like anything bad, but there was a lot of people stopping the coaching back to back. And at this particular moment in time, I was very hard on myself when people would stop coaching with me. To a degree, I still am very hard on myself as well, but it was way worse back then. And so I took this very hard. I got really upset. I got really down on myself. I thought, should I even still be coaching people? Should I still be, trying to help people? Should I find something else to do? It was very hard on myself. And just from a business perspective as well, I felt like I was losing progress on my business where, I'm sure if you have a weekend where maybe you go off track with your nutrition, you might feel like you're losing progress on your fitness, right? I was in a very similar concept. But what I did was, instead of using that feeling to cripple me and make me, go be even more upset or stop or do whatever the case may be, I did something I'm going to show you right now. This is my 28-week challenge that I gave to myself after that moment in time. And essentially what this 28-week challenge was, again, like I said, I felt really bad that, some of the clients have canceled or whatever. So I was like, I have to work even harder. I have to do more. I have to show up more. And so what I did was I created this 28-week challenge where I had to do, a certain amount of podcasts per week. I had to put out more podcasts. I had to put out more YouTube videos. I had to do more things for my clients, breaking down exercise form videos. It was just all based around doing more and getting better. Because the way I thought about it was I got punched in the mouth and kicked on the ground. I didn't want to stay there. I wanted to fight back. I wanted to do more. I wanted to push myself. I didn't want to just let that cripple me. So that's how that 28-week challenge was brought about. And through that 28-week challenge, yes, not only did my business grow and things of that nature, my social media following grew and things of that nature. All of the positive outcomes that I wanted to have happened. But what also happened was mentally, I was able to not just stay down. I was able to keep going. I was able to push harder. I was able to do more. I was able to, just stay consistent and stay on the offense, stay on the aggression side of things. And so when you have a situation where you feel like maybe you're at your lowest or things just keep coming at you and it sucks, I just strongly encourage you, take it, accept it, use it, but then fight back. If think about in a boxing rink, if you're getting punched, don't just keep getting punched. Eventually, you have to punch back. You have to fight back. You have to make this pivot from feeling upset, down, anxious, whatever it is, to now being productive, working towards something, being positive, being optimistic. That can literally change your life, because I can assure you from experience, that 28-week challenge changed my life. And the last lesson I can tell you from being a personal trainer for the past 7 years is I have seen so many of my clients in the beginning think that they need to be perfect in order to produce a result. And you might be thinking this as well. You might think that the one time you go over your calories or go off track on the weekend or you miss a workout or whatever the case may be, you might think that's it, that's done. There's nothing else you can do and you've already ruined everything. And then from that, because you think you've already ruined everything, you continue to go off track. You continue to just say fuck it with your nutrition, not do your workouts, whatever the case may be. I'm here to assure you, it's not the one weekend that you go off track, because it's not the one weekend that you stay on track. If it was the one weekend you went off track, how come when you stay on track for a couple of days, you don't see all of your progress? You wish you did, right? It doesn't happen like that. It matters what you do most of the time, not what you do some of the time. And so if you can truly just comprehend and understand, it's not about you being perfect with every single little thing. You just have to be consistent. You just have to keep going. You just have to keep taking steps forward every single day. And I promise you, if you do that, you will get to your end goal. And that was the top 8 lessons that I learned from being a personal trainer thus far. Hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to give the video a thumbs up. And if you would like to check out, once again, the Clubhouse, which is my coaching program, you can just head to erfclubhouse.com. Again, inside we have all of the workouts laid out for you, sets, reps, instructional tutorial videos. We have nutrition guidelines inside. Myself and my team of coaches are in there to help guide you, help answer questions, help support, hold you accountable, all of that good stuff. So you want to check it out, please feel free to. Other than that, thank you for watching.